The first Major League Baseball player to hit 60 home runs in a single season was Babe Ruth, who accomplished the feat in 1927. The largest Major League Baseball contract ever signed by a pitcher was the $324 million deal signed by Gerrit Cole with the New York Yankees in 2019. The first Major League Baseball team to win 3 consecutive World Series titles was the New York Yankees, who accomplished the feat from 1998 to 2000. The first Major League Baseball player to hit 700 home runs in a career was Babe Ruth, who accomplished the feat in 1934. The Major League Baseball record for most hits in a single season is 262, set by Ichiro Suzuki of the Seattle Mariners in 2004. The first Major League Baseball team to win 100 games in a season was the 1906 Chicago Cubs, who won 116 games that season. The first Major League Baseball player to hit for the cycle, a single, double, triple, and home run in a single game, was Curry Foley of the Buffalo Bisons in 1882. The first Major League Baseball team to integrate African American players was the Brooklyn Dodgers, who signed Jackie Robinson in 1947. The youngest player to ever play in a Major League Baseball game was Tommy Brown, who was just 17 years old when he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1944. The first Major League Baseball player to hit a home run in an All-Star game was Babe Ruth, who accomplished the feat in the inaugural All-Star game in 1933. The first Major League Baseball player to hit 100 home runs in a season was Babe Ruth, who accomplished the feat in 1921. The first professional baseball team was the Cincinnati Red Sox in 1869. The longest game in Major League Baseball history lasted 26 innings and took place between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Boston Braves in 1920. The highest scoring game in Major League Baseball history was a 49-33 victory for the Chicago Cubs over the Philadelphia Phillies in 1922. The New York Yankees have won the most World Series championships with 27. The longest hitting streak in Major League Baseball history was 56 games, achieved by Joe DiMaggio of the New York Yankees in 1941. The fastest pitch ever recorded in a Major League Baseball game was 105.1 miles per hour by Aroldis Chapman of the Cincinnati Reds in 2010. The first African American player to break the color barrier in Major League Baseball was Jackie Robinson, who made his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. The last player to bat over .400 in a single season was Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox in 1941. The pitcher with the most career wins in Major League Baseball history is Cy Young with 511. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game has been played annually since 1933, with the exception of 1945 due to World War II. Babe Ruth, one of the greatest players in Major League Baseball history, started his career as a pitcher and won 94 games before becoming an outfielder. The San Francisco Giants hold the record for the most consecutive games played without a loss, with 26 games in 1916. The distance between bases in Major League Baseball is 90 feet, while the distance from the pitcher's mound to home plate is 60 feet and 6 inches. In 1975, the designated hitter rule was introduced in the American League, allowing a designated hitter to bat in place of the pitcher. Nolan Ryan, who played for the Texas Rangers and several other teams, holds the record for the most career strikeouts with 5,714. The first World Series was played in 1903 between the Boston Americans, now the Red Sox, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hank Aaron hit a total of 755 home runs in his career, breaking Babe Ruth's record of 714. His record stood until Barry Bonds surpassed it in 2007. In 1969, the Major League Baseball added 4 new teams to the league, bringing the total number of teams to 24. The only perfect game in World Series history was pitched by Don Larson of the New York Yankees in 1956. The first African American manager in Major League Baseball was Frank Robinson, who managed the Cleveland Indians in 1975. The first night game in Major League Baseball history was played in 1935 between the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Chicago Cubs went 108 years without winning a World Series, the longest championship drought in Major League Baseball history. They ended the streak by winning the 2016 World Series. The fastest player to reach 500 home runs in Major League Baseball history was Babe Ruth, who achieved the feat in 5,801 plate appearances. The largest Major League Baseball stadium by seating capacity is Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, which can hold over 56,000 fans. In 2015, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred announced a new pace of play initiative aimed at speeding up the game and reducing the length of games. The oldest player to ever play in a Major League Baseball game was Satchel Paige, who was 59 years old when he pitched for the Kansas City Athletics in 1965. In 1943, due to the shortage of players during World War II, the Philadelphia Phillies signed 15-year-old Joe Nux Hall to pitch for them, making him the youngest player in Major League Baseball history. In 1994, a players' strike led to the cancellation of the remainder of the Major League Baseball season, including the World Series. The first player to hit 50 home runs in a single season was Babe Ruth in 1920. The Boston Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees in 1919 for $125,000, which is roughly equivalent to $1.5 million in today's currency. The first Major League Baseball game ever broadcast on television was a game between the Cincinnati Reds and the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1939. The pitcher with the most career saves in Major League Baseball history is Mariano Rivera, who saved 652 games for the New York Yankees. The largest Major League Baseball contract in history was signed by Mike Trout in 2019, who agreed to a 12-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels worth $426.5 million. The Major League Baseball record for most stolen bases in a single season is held by Rickey Henderson, who stole 130 bases for the Oakland Athletics in 1982. The first Major League Baseball game played outside of the United States was a game between the Montreal Expos and the St. Louis Cardinals in 1969, played in Montreal, Canada. The first World Series game to be played at night was Game 4 of the 1971 World Series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Baltimore Orioles. The first player to win the American League Rookie of the Year award was Jackie Jensen of the New York Yankees in 1948. The highest-paid player in Major League Baseball history is Clayton Kershaw, who signed a 7-year, $215 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2014. The first player to hit 4 home runs in a single game was Bobby Lowe of the Boston Beaneaters in 1894.